I'm Carol Schwartz, and I'm a volunteer at the Great American Songbook, and I have found my niche in the foundation by covering books. I love to work with my hands, and I like to put materials together in a way that is useful, and that's what comes together when I cover books. So that's why I'm here. An example of a book that has no jacket and needs some help to make it feel better to touch and use. Without a jacket, I use a heavy mylar, like I did on this book, which also had no jacket, and it gets wrapped around and taped in, and it's become one of my favorite kinds of books to cover. I don't use measuring to do it. I lay it all out on the cover and place rulers, so there's no math involved in this one. I appreciate that. This kind of cover demands a lot of math, and it's for books that need to be preserved and can't really tolerate being on the shelves without some protection. So this is what I started with in this particular case, and valuable to the collection, but not very easy to make available to handlers. So start with some raw material, which is a big rectangle of paper that's acid-free, and through a series of measurements and careful plotting of points, I came up with this, not the design, but this particular box to protect this old book. And then it gets tied up with some cotton string, and it's labeled not with a typical catalog label as this book is, but just writing on the box itself. So I've gotten that process down to about 45 minutes per book, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Books that are paperback and have no jacket get covered with a sticky kind of film, and we keep in stock 4 different sizes of ready covers, which are really pretty simple to use. And you just pick the right size and pull off the backing appropriately and tuck it around the edges and do some trimming, and you have that book ready for use. Books that have a jacket but have some missing pieces in the jacket or some torn parts, or just generally look pretty fragile, I turn to this material over here, which provides a paper backing for the jacket and a plastic cover for the jacket. So the pieces that are missing are substituted in the visual of the jacket by the plain white paper off the roll, and that helps keep the jacket protected and useful to the book. And the fifth kind of cover I deal with is when we have a jacket that's in good shape and just needs to be protected. And in that case, I take Mylar and wrap it around the cover and fasten it to the book. And that's how that one turns out. And the final piece to go on the cover is the label. And after the label is put on, it has to be secured with another sticky product that is clear, so the label shows through, but it's not going to come off easily. And at this point, it's ready to go back on the shelf. And that's what I do.
How many books do you think you've covered?
Oh my. A zillion. I don't know. I really don't know.
Do you enjoy the process?
Yes. And I particularly enjoy the books that are the covers that aren't in particularly good shape, so that there's a lot of satisfaction in bringing them back to looking good and feeling good. So that's the challenge I like. I really look at each book. You know, they're not typically new books. Those are kind of I can run through pretty quickly. There's not a lot of decision making or erasing or scraping off stickers, but I like the ones that have some experience to them, some history to them, and give them a little bit of a new life on our shelves.
Thanks for everything you do, Carol.
Well, I do have fun here, and you're welcome.